Thanks to the support as a channel member, Feline Nation. Well, we spent over £40 million in the summer. We're currently failing FFP and also sitting in mid-table, lower than where we finished last season. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Hello and welcome to Club 2, Part 7 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games for you in the Championship. We're at home against Peterborough, away against Oxford, and we need to win them both because it is not okay for this squad to be down in 12th place in this league. Since you were last with me, we've only won a couple of games. It's not been ideal, and I mean... I say we had a couple of games of rugby and scored 13 goals in them. Jaya Bonner had a lovely time in those games, but actually in the league, we beat Swansea, we beat Stoke. Otherwise, it's not been very much fun at all. And this is what the league table looks like. So down in 12th place, we do have a game in hand on everybody above us, which is the game we play now against Peterborough. So I guess if we win that, we move back up to 7th place in the league and things look a lot better than they do currently. But form has not been great with this very expensively assembled squad. Is there a thing that tells us who spent the most money? There must be somewhere on here. If we go team detail, there must be a transfer spend, one of these. There you go. Net transfer spend. I mean, we've not actually, I guess net spend, we've only spent 2.5 million. Is that right? God, I'm good at this game. Forget it. Nothing to worry about. This is all fine. This is the team. We've got Travers in goal. A back four of Amrouche, Gozzi, De Winter and Donnelly. Did I decide how to say this guy's name? Aguirrezabala. What's his first name? Sergio at the base of the midfield, with Keating and Rodoni ahead of him. Why can't I say any of their names? Do I look Spanish to you? Barrieta. These guys need nicknames because I'm making a fool of myself here. He's on the left, Aguirre's on the right, and then Bonner is my man. Is this really my first team? Is Bonner my main I haven't played the game. Full disclosure, I'm loading up the game here for the first time since the 7th of December. It's the 30th of December today. I recorded a lot of videos in advance because I was away, and I'm now questioning whether this is actually my first team. One moment. Right, does someone want to explain to me how we spent £40 million and only have one striker that we can use? Dane Scarlett, he's injured, which is why he's not in the team. Bonner, his backup, not scored all year. And then we've got Rodoni as a midfielder, Mason Clark, who's a winger. How have I managed that? We're literally failing FFP, and we've only got one usable striker. So this is the team. Oh, my word. It's still a small squad, isn't it? Let's hope we can turn things around and get some points. I have to question what Paskev was up to. Sometimes he's left me no notes. I'm basically joining the club as a new manager today and reassessing everything and doing my usual questioning what the last guy was doing. It's like when you arrive at a new club and you go, what was the transfer policy here? They've sold all their best players, replaced them with a bunch of Spanish kids with no experience whose names I can't say. There's no strikers. He spent £40 million on defenders, basically. I mean, De Winter was £22 million. And I don't have a backup striker. Yes, he's a Belgian international, but I'm assuming in the last episode I had a good justification for that. I'm genuinely struggling with it a little bit, though. Right, Donnelly on the right-hand side. Cross comes in, looking for one of my Spanish boys. It falls to Rodoni. Rodoni cuts it back across, and there is Bonner. I always knew. I was joking with you all along. I always knew he was the guy. And there he is. First league goal of the season. He scored all those tries when we played the rugby matches that we saw before. And yeah, he's the answer. He's the answer to all life's problems. He was looking good last year. If I cast my mind back a number of weeks, he was looking good towards the end of last season, which is why I was happy to have him as the backup. He's just not had the best of starts to this year, but then he has been playing second fiddle to Dane Scarlett the whole time. So that kind of explains that he's not... Yes, he's played 9 games, but a lot of them have come off the bench or he's been out wide. So I'll let him off. There is my boy Keating. Wonderful pass from Keating through to Boateng, and he can't get the shot past the Peterborough defender. It goes behind for a corner, and obviously spending all the money we spent on defenders, presumably we're a threat from these set pieces. There is the £22 million man, De Winter. Can't find him, but it is going to be another corner. This one's going to come in from the other side. We're going with an outswinger. Bit of a risk. We're not as good with the outswingers, but the outswinger now looking for De Winter again at the far post. He does make contact with it, but it's just... I've got an A level in physics, as you can imagine. Very intelligent man over here. Obviously, an outswinging corner is going to be harder to score from than an in-swinger, because with an in-swinger, you've got all the momentum. You just need to adjust the direction of the ball, but it's already travelling towards the goal. With an outswinging corner, it's travelling away from the goal, so it's going to be harder to score from it and get some oomph to it. I mean, you saw the difference in the power on those two headers. The one from De Winter before, the goalkeeper managed to catch because it was so tame. This one, because it's an in-swinger, running onto it, just changing it. Look at the power on that. Physics. That's what that is, boys and girls. And we're going to beat my beloved Peterborough United with physics. 2-0. Posh haven't had a shot. This is very much like watching Posh in real life at the moment, which is an absolute misery. But 2-0. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And as mentioned, this does put us back up to where we're supposed to be in the playoff mix, and actually with one of the best goal differences in the league as well. So I guess it probably was worth spending all that money on fancy defenders and Dane Scarlett, because it seems to have delivered a good goal difference, which is, I mean, that's what it's all about, really, isn't it? We love a goal difference around here. Right, let's have a look at what we've got on the bench. The bench is thin because the squad is thin. So Donnelly's going to come off, and we got this guy. He can come on. Kessler Hayden. Do I know who he is? When we spent £2 million on him last season. I'll know by tomorrow's episode, me and these boys are going to be best buds again. We're going to know each other very, very well. It just, you know, it's the same for everybody returning to work after the Christmas break, presumably. You just got to get used to everybody again. Just forget the names of everybody in the office. What, you've worked here a year? Well, it is a pleasure to meet you. That is lovely work from Gozzy. He'd never scored before today. And that one's not even from a corner. So we're not even being corner merchants. I mean, it is another set piece, but he's a centre-back. He's not going to be forward if it's not from a set piece. But he's done very well there. Two very good headers from him. And our goal difference continues to improve. And this Posh team look absolutely rotten. Although, to be fair, I have vague memories, and this could be memories of my Twitch save rather than this save, but I have vague memories of Posh struggling early on in this save. To see us in the Championship is a delight anyway, to be honest, even if we are going to get relegated, which, let's face it, Posh always get relegated in the Championship anyway, so it's not the end of the world seeing a Posh team struggling in the Championship. Keating whistles one past the post. It was an excellent effort from him, and there's been a little bit of slander. This is the first episode I'm recording since moving to Coventry. Since you lot found out I've moved to Coventry. Godsey, nearly on a hat-trick. There's been a little bit of Keating slander, people suggesting he's not my boy. Yes, he'd played a few matches before I arrived, but he'd never started a football match before I arrived. He's been virtually ever present since I came along. He is, by definition, my boy. The previous manager did not give him the time of day, and I made him my star. So I won't stand for it. He is my boy. I made his career. If I'm not top of his favoured personnel list, he's getting fired right now. Dubbed the new David Platt, apparently. There you go. I am top of his favoured personnel list. He survives. The new David Platt. I mean, I'm old enough, unlike most of you, I'm old enough to remember David Platt. Don't think anyone ever described him as a deep-lying playmaker. Maybe I'm using this guy wrong. David Platt basically invented being he was like a false nine before false nines existed. A shadow striker. That's the David Platt I remember. Maybe I'm remembering him wrong. But he was like the late-breaking he was like Frank Lampard before Frank Lampard. It was all about late runs into the box and scoring goals. He was almost a striker. I wouldn't say that's Keating, but what do I know? I'm just his handsome manager. Posh with the shot from the edge of the area. It goes over. They've been absolutely no goal threat. Presumably they're bottom of the league. They're down in 22nd place, sorry, on 7 points, and almost certainly going to get relegated because, as we've seen today, they're really not very good. And this is definitely the kind of match I needed to ease myself back in. Minimal stress, minimal worry. Just get used to the boys again and have a nice, comfortable victory. How good are Oxford who we play next? Oxford are down in mid-table as well. If we can have the glorious return with 2 wins, I'll be absolutely delighted with that. But that is a very solid performance, and hopefully Dane Scarlett is fit again for the Oxford game. Right, we are coming out of our little mini injury crisis a little bit here. There's still several of them who are unavailable, but a number of the ones who we couldn't select in the last game are back for this one. So Josh Eccles wasn't fully fit for the last match. He's back in. Lennell Osborne, who's on loan from Spurs, he's now fully fit again. Ephron Mason-Clark comes back in because he had to come on because of the knock that one of the Spanish lads got in the last game. So he comes back into the team. Dane Scarlett, fit enough to start, not fully match fit, but he's our goal scorer, so he's back in as well. The only constant really from the last match is the defence, because the defence is very good and very expensively assembled. The rest of the team, we're still working on and figuring out what's best, and also waiting for everybody to get fit again. Once everybody's fit, it's going to be an awful lot easier to pick a competitive midfield and attack. But hopefully we can do a little bit more from open play in this match, because although we beat Posh comfortably 3-0, it was basically set pieces. We didn't get a lot of this, and Scarlett gets in behind, and that's why you want Dane Scarlett in the team. He is a goal machine at this level. We've had him in a number of saves in the past, and he's just always good, isn't he? As a championship striker, that guy is going to get goals. And it's another assist for Keating, a beautiful ball over the top from him. I mean, he is definitely a deep lying playmaker. I'm not having this David Platt comparison. He's like he's the new Michael Carrick, if anything, just spraying balls around from the base of the midfield. Cross comes in from the corner. It's not really attacked properly, but Osborne, look at the pace on him, crosses it for Mason-Clark, and his header is into the hands of the Oxford keeper. But we have started this game rampantly. We are all over Oxford, and Gozzi once again showing his aerial domination, nodding the ball down, and Osborne doing the same job. And now Scarlett has got between 2 defenders again. That guy's not match fit. The turn of pace from Dane Scarlett there, and I say again, he's not match fit. Imagine what he'd be like if he wasn't 8 minutes returning from an injury. But picking the ball up there, he's got no right to end up one-on-one with a keeper. Leaves 2 defenders for dead, and it is a perfectly placed finish off the inside of that post. Wonderful stuff from Scarlett. He's the reason we don't need a second striker, because we've got him, and a second striker is not going to get a look in. Right, Osborne. Playing it back to Scarlett. Look how deep Scarlett's starting here, and just trying to get the attack moving. And now bursting forward, Keating sees him. Keating knows exactly where he is. Plays it out to Donnelly. Donnelly looking for the cross, drills it over low, and Boateng was there. But his shot is pushed wide by the Oxford goalkeeper. And Oxford don't know what's hit them at the start of this football match. We've been absolutely all over them. £22 million of De Winter winning the header, and now Mason-Clark running at the Oxford defenders, lays it off to Keating. They've given him so much space to pick an option, and then in the end he picked an option and was closed down really quickly. So I guess they could get away with giving him pace because they I'm distracted. Oxford have got a player called Kevin, and I now want him in my team. Let's let Scarlett do his thing while I work out what position Kevin plays, because I'm about to offer all of the money for him. I'll swap him for Scarlett if they want. I need to have a player called Kevin. Where is he? They've got a player called Neville. They've got a Kevin and a Neville. This is some great names. That must be him. Kevin Villodres. A £20 million Spanish winger that they got a free transfer from Ross County. Plays for West Ham in real life. Is that true? Or is that an in-game thing? But signed for West Ham. They immediately loaned him out to Oxford. They've taken him. So Oxford had him on loan when he was at West Ham. And then he went on a couple of other loans. And in fact, he didn't sign from Ross County. He signed for them directly from West Ham on a free transfer, having been on loan at Oxford a few years before. They know a good Kevin when they see one. Right, it's corner o'clock. In-swinger, looking for Gozzi, who we've already seen be a huge threat in this video. De Winter from the edge of the area was tempted to show me why he was a £20 million defender, but not able to find the top corner from there. Very upsetting. And now Gozzi to De Winter, out to Donnelly, at right back, and they're Oxford playing very narrow, giving Donnelly all the time he wants to just pick the cross. And in the end, he picked a fairly poor one. Eccles playing it back to De Winter, and now Donnelly once again has got time and space out on this right-hand side. They've finally decided to close him down and put him under a bit of pressure, and he plays it all the way back to our goalkeeper because he's afraid. Right, Gozzi now trying to build from the back. This is a strange highlight, isn't it? Stuff like this normally ends with a goal. Amrouche playing it in to Mason Clark. Mason Clark finds Keating, takes one touch to absolutely take his marker out of the match, and then sticks it into the top corner. It's 3-0 inside 15 minutes. Forget everything I said in the intro. This is a very good football team, and once everybody's fit, we're heading for the Premier League. £40 million, very well spent. As previously stated, I'm very good at this game. And that is lovely work from Keating. My boy, I invented him, and that was more David Platt-like. Maybe he is the new David Platt. If he ends up being like a proper England international top-level player, it completely justifies the decision to come to Coventry, because a few people, obviously we had the choice between coming to Coventry and going to Blackburn, and there was a good wonder kid at Blackburn, or not a wonder kid, but a good youngster at Blackburn who was a big defender, and everyone was like, Kev, they had the good young player, you should have gone there for the good young player. I obviously knew all along that Keating was here and was an even better young player. That was the main part of the decision-making process. Kevin confirming what I've known for years. If you click on an opposition player in Football Manager, they will always score against you. It is just one of those things. It's like we've let the match engine know that we've noticed them. And now we've noticed them, the match engine is like, oh, well, allow me. And yeah, hopefully that's the one goal he's going to get. We only clicked on him once, didn't we? Did I notice in the build-up to that Mason Clark's had a knock? I think he has. So we might have to make a change there. But he actually looks like he's recovering. He went all the way down to almost an empty heart, and he's now a third full again. So maybe it was just a knock that he's going to be able to run off. We'll give him a few minutes. And if he continues to recover, we'll leave him on, because he is a key player for us. Right. Boateng playing it back to De Winter. We're playing some lovely passing football here. Eccles turning and running and laying it off to Keating. And there's Donnelly completely unmarked again, playing it across to Boateng, and he can't keep it inside of the post. He should have done, really. It was a very good opportunity. Right, Mason Clark isn't really recovering, so I think we probably do take him off. And we'll stick Bonner out on that side. This is what I was saying about Bonner before. A lot of the football that he's played this year has been from these wide areas, because we want to keep him playing. He's a young player. We want to keep him developing. But when we play a one-striker system, we don't necessarily want to play him up there on his own, especially when we've got Scarlett knocking around, and we'll just get him his game time playing out on the wing. So his goals per game ratio for his career is going to be ruined by the next season or two here at Coventry. But he can be a late bloomer. He can develop later in his career and start being a 30-goal a season striker. Or maybe we'll just turn him into a career inside forward, and that'll be fine too. This is alarming, because we were very comfortable, and now all of a sudden it's only a 1-goal advantage going into half-time, and we've got a little bit sloppy here. I noticed Neville as well. I didn't click on Neville, but I noticed him. Maybe the game heard me, and it's a good run, good cross from him, and Oxford, despite not deserving it, have got themselves back into this game, even though we've dominated. We were 3-0 up inside 15 minutes, and dare I say, we might have decided job was done and taken our foot off the gas a little bit. So it'd be quite handy if we could have another of our corner specials here and just put the game out of Oxford's reach. It's aimed for Gozzi again, and he can't keep his header down this time after being so clinical in the previous match. That one's a little bit wild, a little bit loose. We're only 4 points off the top of the table just now, only 2 points behind Wolves in second place. Things are looking good as long as we don't let Oxford back into this game. Scarlett heads it up into the air. And we do need to keep an eye on Dane Scarlett, who, of course, wasn't fully fit coming in. Started explosively today, but has quietened down as the game has got on. And he is starting to get tired, even though there's only an hour of the match gone. And that is really sloppy again. I mean, this is the definition of complacency here from our boys. Bonner, again, complacent, does win the ball back. But we need to spark some life back into these players. And this is where, if match shouts actually worked, we could use one of them. It would be nice. I wouldn't know what to shout here because everything either does nothing or has a negative effect. I've never had a shout that's actually done anything efficient. What can I say? Concentrate? Is that an option? Focus, I guess, is what I'm asking for them to do. Should we... I mean, we're going to try it. We're going to tell them to focus. I don't think I've ever clicked that before. Focus, you bunch of wallies. Right. Amrouche plays it back to Gozzi. Gozzi to Eccles. And now Keating. Scarlett made it look good. Played it onto Boateng. And there you go. Just needed a little bit of focus. That is man management right there, boys and girls. I know my... It hasn't gone through yet. That is man management there. I am very good at football manager. Now they have the whole... This is why you don't click on the match shouts during a highlight, because now they've just scored and I'm yelling focus, and this is the danger of them, because now they're like, what do you mean? We've literally just scored, you maniac. Right, we are going to take off Scarlett. Bonner can go up front. Rodoni can come on that left-hand side. And then we'll take off De Winter, who's not had a very good game. £20 million. £20 million down the drain. And right, Donnelly at right back finds McKellar, and now Eccles. Eccles has had a solid game at the base of midfield. He's only on a 6.8. I've seen him look very efficient every time he's got near the ball. And now it's 5-2. And this is a little bit more like what we were expecting 10 or 15 minutes into this game. We were supposed to run away with it. And now I think we just needed a bit of focus. That's all that was required. If in doubt, folks, I mean, consider this a Football Manager tutorial. If in doubt, just tell them to focus and you immediately score twice. You're welcome. Tutorials with Kev. Right. They are charging. Focus, you wallies. Oh, we go 3 goals ahead and then immediately you're like, yeah, job done. Don't need to concentrate anymore. Maybe that's when I should be yelling focus. I'm mistiming my touchline shouts, clearly. They are coming at us. If they score again here, then some focus. Right, let's try it again. Focus. I've once again done it during a highlight, but we are defending currently, so hopefully we get away with it. It's going to be an in-swinging corner from Oxford. We're still 2 goals to the good. Like £30 million we spent on this defence, although we've taken 2/3 of that off at this point. It's another corner. Another in-swinger from this far side, and Amrouche heads it up into the air, straight to Oxford's striker, and it's now back out with the corner taker again, but Osborne does well to win the ball back and then just lump it forward. Because, say it with me, boys and girls, focus. That's what we had there from Osborne. Good work from him. Right. Egan Riley is going to come on. And Scales is going to come on, just freshen up the fullbacks. Fullbacks always need to be full of energy because they give us our width. We've got Rodoni and Aguier both cutting in. So the wing-backs are up and down those touchlines all match long. They need rotating. They get tired. Bless their cotton socks. But, I mean, this is a bonkers game. Oxford 3, Coventry 5. We are the entertainers of the league. But we are back up into the playoffs where we're supposed to be. And... I mean, there's a little bit of a run starting to form. 3 wins in 4. Here we go. We're going to be top of the league next time you see me. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.